Noah.
That's the sign for that.
It's because his neck is so big. That's why it has his head.
Do you always feel like somebody's watching you?
Yeah.
I always feel like.
Scott, try to look cute.
Boy, go ahead. You can take your.
I'm going to take that gum away from him now.
We'll have plenty of time to take more pictures.
Yes, it's my job to do so. I will. You'll see.
You sound like my mom. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So everybody, I think everybody is here probably that you are expecting. So this is a first for me, 100% first for me. So Noah, those of you that don't know, is gonna sign his letter of intent to play football, of all things. And we don't have football at Calvary, but we're gonna boast about our scholarship football player for sure. Yeah, so I can share some of the story, or Scott, do you want to share the story?
Whichever.
You go ahead, because you're definitely more familiar with that.
So, Brittany, thank you for everything through this process. It's been awesome. Just a wild story. So, in November, after a mission trip, I called a friend of mine, telling him about Japan and about the trip. And I was just kind of telling him that, like, while we were in Japan, I said, you know, we put like Noah and Connor actually up kind of in the front of our group because it'd be really crowded and we couldn't see where we were going, and so we kind of follow those guys through. And so my friend, knowing that I'm just a normal sized guy, he's like, "How big is your son?" And so I explained, you know, he's 6'4", 6'5", he's a big dude. And he's like, "Is he like big and fat?" And I'm like, "No, he's just a big, strong guy." and so I told him what size he was, and then I went on and told him more about, you know, Japan and what was going on, and he's just like being silent. He's not saying a word about anything. And I can tell he's just not listening to me. And he comes back and he goes, "Well, why didn't you play football in high school?" And I'm like, I don't know, Neil. I mean, the school we went to, you know, didn't have a football team. I'm sorry, you know, didn't play. So I go on another part about Japan, and he is dead silent still. And he comes back and goes, "Well, I can't believe you didn't switch schools." And I'm like, "Neil, I didn't switch schools. I'm sorry. I failed as a parent. I'm sorry. I'm a disappointment to you, but he didn't play football." And so I'm on to another part about Japan and telling another story. He's still not listening. He comes back in and he's like, "Well, how old is he?" And I said, he's 21. He turned 21 while we were there. And he's like, "Well, he could still play football." And I'm like, "Neil, he played a little bit in 5th grade. He's never played, and he probably still doesn't know how to put, you know, shoulder pads on. I'm not sure." So he abruptly gets off the phone, and I think, okay, we're done talking about that. And like an hour later, he calls me, and he talked to a friend of his that was coaching at a school in New Mexico. He said that he told his friend about Noah, and his friend said that, hey, he would bring Noah out to play football in New Mexico. And I'm like, "Neil, you know, we can't do that. You know, he's welding, he's making great money. You know, we're not moving all the way out to New Mexico." And he's like, "Yeah, it's probably too far." He goes, "Okay, well, I tried." I'm like, "Okay." So again, I think the story's over. And then like 3 hours later on a Friday evening, he calls me. He goes, "Hey, do you know where Quincy is?" And I said, "Yeah, I know where Quincy is." And he said, "I just talked to the coaching staff at Quincy, and they want to meet Noah." And I'm like, "About what?" And he said, "About playing football." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Did you tell them that like he hasn't played?" And he goes, "Yeah, I told them. They know the whole story." So I eventually told Noah, told Sharon, didn't even really think Noah would be super interested. He was. We started visiting schools. We visited Quincy, Illinois College, Evangel. At one time, I think we had 9 to 11 schools that were contacting us, you know, asking him about playing, and it was just nuts. And so we started like managing this process, and kind of came down to where he really loved Illinois College. He really loved Coffeyville, and we were just trying to, you know, make the best decision. So we had a conversation with Brittany. It was super helpful, you know, and she's like, you know, I think if you're wanting to have this like awesome just college experience and it's close and you want to do that, then it might be Illinois College is, you know, what you want to do. If you want to just like take a crazy shot and swing for the fences and see what happens, maybe Coffeyville is the right avenue. And so we were thinking about Coffeyville. We went there on a visit. They ended up offering him a scholarship, which is nuts. And so he's going to Coffeyville June 1st for like an introductory camp, and then he'll be enrolled in school in August. So that's kind of
So let me say this is the first. That's definitely the first. speaks to the thing that I say to a lot of people, that if you're good, they'll find you. So Noah has never played football. He's going to play football in college. That kind of shows you what, you know, sometimes that's just how life works. If you're big enough, they'll find you, apparently, in this situation. One thing that Scott didn't share, and so this was news to me too, so when I sat down with him, I was like, Coffeyville Community College, like what is this? And I just Googled it. And they are kind of known for, I think, they send a lot of kids on to the next level, D1s, and then have had several players who have also played in the NFL, right? So that's pretty wild to think about.
I think like after 2022, they sent like 40 kids to D1, and then they've sent 70-ish to the NFL at some point.
Wow.
They have 9 active players in the NFL.
Yeah, I know everyone's just kind of shaking their head and laughing. This is going to be a fun story to tell for a long time. Is there anyone who wants to say anything to Noah? This is the part where we kind of take some time, and usually there's some people who want to say something, or coach. Well, Noah's football coach isn't here to talk to him. Couldn't be here. If anyone else wants to share anything with Noah or just in general, go ahead.
How about his cross country coach?
That sounds amazing. I think that's fantastic.
So that's where I met Noah. Come to me, I was coaching at High, and we had co-opted, and so that's where I first met him. And yeah, he started out cross country and now playing football. So don't tell your football coaches that.
It's amazing.
Anybody else? Now all of a sudden everyone's shy. So do you want to say anything?
No, to reiterate, I'm just very thankful for your help in this, and just the entire process has been wild. You know, like I said, we really loved Illinois College a lot. It was a hard decision to make, so I appreciate their attention and just everyone. Just the fact that he had so many opportunities to come and play when he had never played before. It's just a wild opportunity. So we're excited and thankful to see what happens next.
You sit back and reflect. I'm looking at him multiple ways. I had him in 6th grade when he wouldn't say boo. Ever. And then you see how he came through, he graduated, he went to welding school, he became a man. Not only is he taken a step that should be inspirational for most people, because he could weld and he's a professional and just hang out and not take this jump. And the impact that he has had on my youngest Luke, he talks about him, thinks like, I can't even tell you the impact you make in his life. So I encourage you to make that impact for all the people you're around over there. Because, I mean, literally you're an amazing example for him, for me, and for everybody else. And we as a community just couldn't be more proud.
Absolutely. I just want to say that your family's very proud of you. And I know that my mother would be so proud of you because she loved you so much, buddy. I wish she could be here to see it. We're proud of you. It's a great accomplishment.
What will you study, Noah?
I'm going to study kinesiology.
Yes. That's great.
Micah said, what is that?
It's the study of how human body moves.
So he could do physical therapy or sports education stuff with that. Does that help? No. I want to say that I appreciate the trickle-down effect that is taking place, because when my mom passed away, his coach, he wasn't sure if he wanted to, Noah wasn't sure if he wanted to run cross country, because at that time he was not into athletics very much at all, hadn't tried a whole lot, and his coach came in and talked to him and encouraged him and just told him, it's not going to be easy, it's going to be really hard, but you'll be better for it. And I just am amazed to see how Noah has run with that. And he spoke words of life to Noah, and now to hear Matt talk about how Noah is speaking words of life into other people that are younger than him, it's just, it's awesome.
Anyone else? Okay, so I actually made some notes on my phone last night. What am I gonna say to the kid that's gonna sign to play football? 'Cause this just never happened before, and it's
Your shirt's perfect.
yeah, yeah, right.
You're welcome.
Undefeated.
That's amazing.
What's really wild is my notes that I made yesterday are really aligning with a lot of things that other people are saying. So maybe this is the message you're supposed to be hearing today. So a couple things. One, I think this is really brave, right? Because you could have just stayed right where you were, right? You're already into the welding thing, like your dad said, making good money, and just in a good place. It's not that there's anything wrong with that. And then this opportunity comes up, it would be really easy to say, like, no, I'm not going to take that risk. So I think this is really brave of you to do this. I think we talked about that a little bit, and I think it's pretty cool. You know, this story is probably going to be one that people see or read and talk about for a while, and in a couple of years they're probably going to say, you know, what's that kid, Calvary kid doing with football now? Or maybe they're going to see you at some point and be like, that's that kid I saw in the news. That's that guy I read about. That's him. It's just kind of funny thinking that, you know, having you as a student, and you're always such a good student, very quiet, very peaceful, and imagining you just running somebody over is gonna be, it's gonna be a lot of fun to see. But the thing that I was thinking about most last night is, you know, you are in a really unique position, right? You're 21 years old, right? Graduated in 2021?
2021.
Okay. So you're a couple years out of school. You're a little bit more mature, right? And you've always been a mature kid. I think you were. That was my take on you, right? And now you're going into this place with a lot of young guys, right? Probably a lot of them, maybe some as young as 17, 18, 19, maybe 20 years old. And you are going to be in a very unique place to be able to mentor them, just as a person, but definitely most importantly about your faith, right? So you're going to be able to speak to these young men in a way that probably not a lot of other people have an opportunity to do. You're going to have people of all walks of life probably coming in and converging on this football team. This, and who knows, this might be your opportunity. Maybe this decision is not changing just your life, it might change somebody else's. You might be the person that changes someone else's life because you chose to be here and show them what a life with Jesus is like. So definitely grab hold of that opportunity. I mean, play hard, run some people over, and then show them what the love of Jesus at the same time. But it is an amazing opportunity. I'm super excited for you. Your parents are super excited. They're so proud. I can just tell by talking to the both of them and the looks on their faces how proud they are and how proud your family is of you. And of course, we're so proud of you too. We were proud of you before, and we're super proud and excited for you now to take this next step. We'll miss having your presence here, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. So.
Are you ready? Hold on. I feel like in the future, at these football games, my nephew is going to hear his name chanted from the stands. And if you will indulge me, I would like to start a chant, and you just join in for fun, just for a couple seconds. Are you ready? Noah! 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 I like it.
I'm gonna pray real quick, and then we're gonna actually
Sign the
sign that paper. Okay. God, we thank you for this time that we could all be here. Just thank you for this unique opportunity for Noah. You've clearly opened some doors for him, God, and just thank you for all the many ways you've worked through that, and these plans that have been laid out for him long in advance, and we're just so glad to see them come to life. and I just pray that you will watch over Noah as he embarks on this journey. Be with him physically. I know this is going to be different and difficult. Just be with him mentally as he, moves away to a different place, and just help him find a mentor, someone that he can lean on there that will help him in his faith walk. And just pray that you will continue to watch over him and help order his steps in every way. Just pray that you will keep him safe and just help him to be a massive success and a massive light for you, to show other people what you are. In Jesus' name. Okay.
I do have something to say.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
When you were little, a newborn baby, you had a big head.
Yeah.
And for those here that don't know this, but your Uncle Mike wrote in a card that he told me he would grow into that head. And you have. No, we're a bunch of crybabies. So you have gotten there. You've grown into your head.
You got into your head. Good job.
Word of life.
That's
You've
great.
grown into your head.
All right.
Just do the actual sign.
We'll do this and we'll leave you time to pose and all that without
Yeah, you
my
all can-
backside.
You all can take lots of pictures.
In other words, don't take pictures of my butt.
All right, go ahead, everybody.
Is your heart beating fast?
Everybody have pictures they want? Yeah. Are you done?
I am done with mine.
Noah, do you have anything else you want to say? Okay. Noah's going to be standing in front of the Calvary County sign for those that want more pictures. You can also have pictures here. And that's it.